104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. It is a good time to have an NBA expert on our hands, and we've got the host from NBA TV and Turner Sports, Matt Weiner, with us right now. So, Matt, you've got a laundry list of credentials, and I just want to get to my Knicks, if that's okay, because I just need help.
Yeah.
Melo actually plays well for a change, and they still lose. Who is this Knicks team?
Well, easy with that expert stuff, first of all. But they're an average team. That's who they are. And to be honest, that's kind of what I thought when the season began. I thought this was probably a bubble playoff team. As far as I know, Derrick Rose was the only one throwing around the super team idea. And even he attributed that to somebody else, although I've never figured out who that was. But to me, there was never any evidence that this was going to be a lock as a playoff team. They're not particularly good defensively. Their bench was a huge question mark coming in and has proven to be just okay. They've had their nights. But in terms of an identity, I don't really know exactly who they are other than a team trying to figure out what's next. And really that's the storyline for the Knicks right now is where are they and who are they moving forward.
Matt, do you believe this team should stay together? Is there enough talent there? Or is this a team you look and say they have to make a move at least for the future at the deadline?
I think they have to make, if not at the deadline, I think they have to move forward and build around Kristaps Porzingis because clearly he is the future of that team. Whether Carmelo Anthony stays or not, he's 32, and it seems to me that his timeline doesn't match up with the Knicks' timeline in terms of development. If whatever exactly the plan is, if it comes together and they're a contending team sometime in the not-so-distant future, it's probably beyond the point where Carmelo is their best player.
Matt Weiner joining us now, by the way. Matt, NBA TV host. You can see him on the network signature studio show Game Time and also hosting Beyond the Paint. He's going to be on the coverage 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Following that, Raptors and Spurs, all-new episode of Matt's new show, Beyond the Paint, at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. And, Matt, I know you've worked with Isiah Thomas before. Isiah has some connections with the New York Knicks before.
Sure.
Has Isiah ever expressed him getting back into the management role in the NBA in any way?
Not to me, no. I mean, he's worked with the Liberty, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised if he's interested. He certainly keeps his finger on the pulse of what's happening. He's been great with us, by the way. He's enthusiastic and he has opinions. He and I don't always agree on things, but he has opinions about things. And given his life in basketball, I listen to everything he says. I wouldn't be surprised if he pursued it at some other point. Whether that opportunity exists or not, who knows? As they say in the NBA, it only takes one, right?
Right.
That goes for players, that goes for management, that goes for coaches. If the right person out there believes you're the solution to their problems, then things happen.
Matt, when we look at the All-Star Game starters announced, and Russell Westbrook isn't among the starters, so he gets the starter snub. What are your thoughts?
Well, he should be there, obviously, but I actually kind of like the system this year. They allow the fans to have their say without doing anything silly, right? So there's no Zaza Pachulia starting in the All-Star Game and taking up somebody else's spot, but Steph Curry, who's enormously popular for obvious reasons, is in the starting lineup. Russell Westbrook's still going to make the team, so it's not, a catastrophe. But based on merit, obviously Russell Westbrook should be there. To me, if there were a midseason MVP vote, and I don't have to cast my ballot until April, but if there were such a thing, James Harden is number one, Russell Westbrook is probably number two, and they were my backcourt in the official media vote ballot as well. All three of those guys are all-stars. They'll all be in the game. It's not a travesty, but, if you're asking on merit, of course he should be there.
Do you think it's already too soon to talk about changing the way this process has come about? Because I'm seeing some of these player votes coming in, which is a percentage of the votes, and they're just voting for their buddies. They're voting for their friends.
Or themselves.
Right.
Some of them voted for themselves, which I actually kind of respect. But no, because there's sort of checks and balances to the whole thing, and that's what I like about it, because the player vote was only 25%. Our slice of the vote was only 25%, and the fans get their say with 50%. So there are going to be outliers from all three of those groups, but ultimately it works out that you basically get a representative group on the floor, despite the ridiculous votes cast along the way. A bunch of players, I forget the number, a bunch of players didn't vote for LeBron James, and a whole bunch of players didn't vote for Kevin Durant.
It's craziness, but it can't be anything compared to the craziness you deal with. Matt Weiner with us right now, NBA TV, Turner Sports. You're on a set with Barkley, Shaq, and Garnett.
I've never been on a set with Garnett.
Oh, really?
The other guys occasionally. Well, first of all, Kevin's in a secret area.
Area 21, right?
Right?
Area 21, excuse me. Yeah, right.
Undisclosed location. But I haven't done that show with him at this point. I have filled in for Ernie a bunch of times, and it is unlike any other show I've ever done, really anywhere. And I'm 25 years in the TV now. And it was such a departure from what I was doing at ESPN all those years. You walk in, there's a production meeting, but none of the other guys on the set are there. That's by design. You talk about, kind of a loose framework of what the shows are going to be over the course of the night. But as a host, you also have to be aware that it could go in any conceivable direction and a bunch of directions that you'd never conceive of, and you have to be ready for that. And it's all beautifully designed. There's a guy named Tim Kiley. You may hear them refer to TK occasionally. That's him. He kind of came up with this many years ago, playing on what he knew he had in Charles Barkley. That you didn't want to put him in a box. You didn't want to overscript the show. You didn't want him worrying about what camera he was looking at. Any of that stuff. Just let him go, and that's what they do, and that's really the genius of the show.
Have there ever been moments, one or two particular to you, where you're hosting with these guys, you think, I can't believe we're going down this lane tonight. I can't believe what Charles and Shaq and others are saying tonight.
Well, I mean, some of the goofy stuff we've done when I've done the show. I found myself on a mechanical bull last spring. That's one thing that stands out. But really, I mean, hands down, the most remarkable time that I've spent on that set was also last spring when we had Dwight Howard on the set, and something akin to an intervention broke out. We had Dwight in as a guest that night, and, just kind of doing the usual guest stuff and commenting on what he was seeing and on highlights and asking him some questions. And we had planned to have this lengthy discussion about his future with whomever. He was still with the Rockets, obviously. And this is typical of the show. Barkley kind of pulled an audible in the first segment and started asking him questions, beginning with, why don't people like you? And that started what was about 30 minutes of live TV without any commercials, which is almost unheard of. And it was fascinating. And I've never been a part of anything like that, and I doubt that I ever will again.
Matt Weiner, man, we appreciate you. Of course, check him out on NBA TV. Fan Night on Tuesday at 7. See the Spurs take on the Raptors, followed by an all-new episode of Matt's show Beyond the Paint at 10 p.m. You are a busy, busy man, and we appreciate your time.
Hey, good to talk to you guys.